So probably as people watch this new video, I'm going to be elsewhere enjoying the sweet, sweet embrace of the Paldea region. The chonk sandwiches. So welcome back to this video. Today we'll be talking about our next gym, a ghost type gym leader with an affinity for Beast Paradox Pokemon. I'm super excited to show off the Beast Paradox to this pre-existing Pokemon. So I'd say Ghost type are one of the most beloved Pokemon types. I mean, Gengar is literally one of the most popular Pokemon, and Mimikyu almost did what it intended to do in the lore and be as popular as Pikachu. And I mean, we have a Ghost type in our Pokedex in every gen now. I guess there's just something exciting about a design that isn't always tied to animals, but concepts and haunted objects. So let's talk a bit about our new town first. So the second town you'd go to is a much smaller one compared to the big old city. I like the idea of this kind of open world route between Ozside and this city. An almost haunted desert, plenty of ghosts and ground types as we come up to Brokehearth town. Based on Broken Hill, which is a mining town in the Outback and quite remote, Brokehearth is the same. Usually people would take planes or flying types to get there, but not you gotta slog it through. Brokehearth isn't known for much except as gym leader, a famous model and fashion designer, with most of Brokehearth's tourism coming from gym challenges, having to wait around in the town for her to return from her business trips. Alright, with our lore out of the way, let's get on to our gym leader's ace Pokemon. This idea actually came from the design for the gym leader. Having a sun umbrella, it sort of looked like Magnezone, so I lent into that. This version of Magnezone is based on the Obake, a yokai that looks like an umbrella, still lending to that UFO shape, but becoming concave and having its other eyes become these ghostly hands and the antenna becoming almost like Dusknoir's. I love giving these tongues a drip. Makes them look goopy and spooky. Colours were based on the actual umbrella of the gym leader herself, so it wasn't hard to choose for him. Magnezone, Beast Paradox form. The Umbrella Pokemon, a Ghost type. Much like Dusknoir, this Pokemon seems to use its antennae to tune to spirits. Magnezone, however, eats the spirits to fuel its levitation. Underneath Magnezone's concave body is a black void where its goopy tongue and shadowy hands emerge. If you try to reach within, your life energy will be sapped. Strangely, in terms of threat, this beast form isn't too dangerous and was more interested in playing pranks and spooking our researchers, rather than attacking. Mushrooms are kind of like not plants, right? Like the meat of the plant kingdom? We have plenty of ghost grass Pokemon already, so when I went to make a mushy Pokemon, I decided on removing the grass type, as they would be these more whimsical fae kind of creatures instead. The idea with them being similar mushroom Pokemon but gender exclusive. Their Beast Paradox forms would be version exclusive, but the gym leader would use the unobtainable version against you. Gooshroom's whole idea was those red blood ink mushrooms, but the inky bubbles look like mischievous little eyes. I really wanted to capture the Fey energy, so instead of a pure blood red, I opted for a pinker colour. Gooshroom, the red ink Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. Gooshroom are known for mischief. They'll invade homes and steal anything that they can get their hands on. You can usually tell it was a Gooshroom by the ink they leave in their wake. The slick ink that Gooshroom produces has a slight hallucination effect on others, so Gooshroom coat themselves in it for if they ever get caught. In battle, Gooshroom fling this ink to create a battlefield of inky mines. For Gooshroom's Beast Paradox, I wanted it to feel a little opposite of their counterpart. While its other half would be more elegant and fashion focused, this one would feel a bit unhinged, like a mad scientist or something. Less drip, but now for sure you know those are its eyes, and it's looking at you. I like giving the arms the pink ink colour, it really helped give it some nice contrast. Gooshroom, Beast Paradox form, the psychedelic Pokemon, a ghost and psychic type. It seems this form of Gooshroom dominates the area of ultra space it is from. Whatever the ink substance it secretes, it has a controlling power to it. What seems to be gel sacs on its head are actually numerous misshapen eyes. Once it locks all its eyes on you, there's no breaking free of its control. We at the Beast Paradox Research Lab believe that this is a higher tier threat beast and must be dealt with on site. Gooshroom has a unique ability called Beast Gaze. Whenever this Pokemon is hit by a physical move, it has a chance to lower a random stat of the attacker by 1 stage. For Inkasm, I knew I wanted a fashionable goth mushroom, based on the black inky cap mushrooms. I had a lot of inspo from the Gothitelle line, as much as I find them kind of as Pokemon. They do have some great themes to them. While not looking as mischievous, she still is a dastardly little creature. I only noticed now that a lot of these guys have goopy drips as a motif for them. Inkasm, the black ink Pokemon, a ghost and fairy type. Inkasm ink is harvested for its potent deterrent effect against bug types. Many have said that the smell of Inkasm's ink is that of a sweet perfume. It has a sense of pride about it, and if someone shows disinterest in Inkasm, it will attack with powerful kicks and slaps. When Inkasms sleep, they bury themselves in the ground, which leads to people and other Pokemon trying to pluck them from the ground, to very painful results. In its beast form, Inkasm becomes this almost like Gardevoir stature being. Or maybe more akin to Pheromosa, like she's sassy and will step on you. But I needed more beast to it, so I added some eldritch looking eyes beneath the cap. I combined the inky cap mushroom with the basket fungus mushroom, which is actually native to Australia and New Zealand. I wanted the ink to kind of look like bubbly hair to sell that this one cares about its looks. Colours are the same, but I decided to add in the red to connect itself to Gooshroom and help it look more ominous and bestial. Inkasm, Beast Paradox form, the fashion Pokemon, a ghost and dark type. It seems in this form, Inkasm ink has an opposite effect in that it transfixes anyone who smells it, and brainwashes entirely anyone who touches it. Despite this, it isn't an especially aggressive Pokemon. Unless you ignore it, then it will fling ink in all directions to try and get you under its control. Our first contact with this form was a town completely under its control. Luckily it was captured and the brainwashing was reversed. Classified another high tier threat. It also has a unique ability called Transfixing Ink, which special attacks from this Pokemon has a chance to cause the taunt effect on opponents. So I actually created the leader first, and that's where the idea for B Magnezone and Incasm came from. It's weird designing from a character than the other way around. Cassandra started as this sassy girl who almost looked like she was doing a death drop. I like the cock pose because it made me think that the ghosts were propping her up for these like wild poses in her photography. I got rid of her goofy smile because I didn't want her to look too condescending. But the first pass lacked contrast, so I took a second go at her. In the second, I turned her parasol more towards the look of Magnezone and gave her some brighter, bigger eyes. A little more contrast, and I felt much happier with the outcome this time. Cassandra, the Brokehearth gym leader. Life in Brokehearth was dull for Cassandra, but she found her passion in modelling and fashion design. Since that day, she finds herself travelling from her gym in Brokehearth to other cities to model her designs, leaving gym challenges to wait for her return. Cassandra finds an affinity for ghost types. In an interview, she said, "Their colour and mannerisms are just so exciting to me. All of them are the perfect mix of cute and scary." Her ability to control and train Beast Paradox Pokemon makes her a powerful trainer. In her first match, in one version, she'd have Magnezone, Gooshroom, and Beast Incasm. While in the other version, she'd swap Incasm and Gooshroom around. And in her rematch match, you'd fight Magnezone, Gooshroom Beast, Incasm Beast, Revengeance, Chandelure, and Mimikyu. The whole time trying to think of a name for her, I was like, Ghost, Friendly Ghost, Casper, Cassandra. That's right, Cassandra is named after a franchise that no one cares about anymore, and I have maybe seen like one of the movies. That's funny to me, and that's all that matters. Another gym leader down, and I'm feeling too hot from all this desert, so let's return to a much nicer place, filled with sun and poisonous flowers. And also some actual Australian animal Pokemon. So if you could like and subscribe and share this video, and down below, tell me if you'd train any of the Pokemon seen in the video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, yes.
Usa baki